Okay.
Okay. Let's go.
My bad. Okay. Oh, I'm a dick! How did I get into the doesn't lock my phone? Lock my phone.
Ready? Hello and welcome back to another episode.
Why do you sound very quiet?
Am I very quiet?
Yeah, you sound like you're whispering.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe it's just
Hi and welcome to another.
Maybe it's just because I'm used to loud people.
Perhaps that's what happens.
You're tired. You've been working all
when you
day.
live. When you live on your own, you can be as loud as you want.
True that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we are back with another movie review.
Yeah.
This time with a Chinese movie that.
Well, not new, 2019.
Not new, okay,
But it's only just been released on
Well,
Blu-ray.
yes, given the delays with releases thanks to COVID, we have now been able to watch
Skyfire!
which I thoroughly enjoyed.
I thought you were going to hate it.
No, do you know, okay, so
Let me take a gasp.
get a gasp, but I honestly think had I not got it for the deal that I got it for...
Yeah. £5 Tesco's.
Well, yeah, it was 2 for £8, but it was £5 on the Blu-ray.
if you want to just buy it. And so.
Brand new.
Yeah.
As in, it was just released, and I jumped on it. And funny enough, an hour before that, you texted me saying, "Watch Skyfire."
Yeah.
So, it was meant to be.
It was.
But
Absolutely.
and I had heard of it coming out, and I had been eyeing it up. But I wasn't 100% on the cast and the crew involved. It is a mainland production.
It is a mainland production, yeah.
But obviously I did know Simon West was behind it, who did The Expendables 2 and Tomb Raider and things like that, and I was kind of like, meh.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with The Expendables 2 or Tomb Raider. They're fine films.
I think Expendables 2 is my
favourite
out of them.
I agree,
yes.
yeah,
without a doubt. But I just thought this was going to be another Rennie Harlin moment, kind of like Skip Trace, like...
Oh, yeah.
Putting an American director behind a Chinese movie when they just don't get the culture and stuff, sometimes really doesn't work.
Yeah.
But this...
It worked very well.
It did.
It did.
Surprisingly so.
So it was mainland China's biggest budgeted, first ever big budget disaster epic.
Yeah.
Supposed to be the first of 3 films.
Okay.
So it was supposed to be part of a trilogy, but it did underperform slightly at the box office. But it came out kind of tail end of 2019.
Yeah.
So that could have been, and China was just going into lockdown at that stage, so that could have been the reason why. Now, it didn't do too badly whenever I looked up the box office results.
It wasn't
It
dreadful.
did okay.
Yeah.
But it should have done so much better.
I
It should
think
be
so.
seen by many more people because it's fun.
To be honest, I think I had more fun watching that than I have recent disaster movies. From the US, from Hollywood. And the funny thing is, we actually made the kids watch the likes of Deep Impact and that the night after, and it was the most boring bloody thing.
Deep Impact is no Armageddon.
No.
And I hate that Armageddon gets more hate than Deep Impact, and Deep
that's
Impact
very
puts
true.
me to sleep.
Yeah, it is a very boring movie.
So Skyfire, to me, this is how I kind of pitched it to you, was like Jurassic World meets Dante's Peak.
Yeah, that's it.
Only minus the dinosaurs.
Minus the dinosaurs and a wee bit more ruthless, I think.
Oh yeah.
There was it does have its cliche moments, both in terms of Chinese cinema and Hollywood moments. It has got it.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of times where I thought he's going to survive, or she's going to survive, or they're going to clear this, or they're going to do that.
Or they're going to die, or... Yes. Yeah.
And it actually surprised me. So
Yeah.
as much as it just fell into that, it is another disaster movie.
Film. Yeah.
Of course it is. It still had enough fun surprises there.
Yeah.
That actually kept us gripped.
Yeah. So I want to get the cast out of the way.
Do it.
Because I have my phone open.
We need to. There's faces I know.
Yes.
But not names I know.
Yeah. So we have Jason Isaacs, who anybody is going to know is a face that you'll know from
all the Harry Potters.
Oh, of course!
Yeah.
I never watched Harry Potter, so I don't know.
You didn't like them. But he is a very prominent face, and for
Yeah.
fans of Hong Kong cinema, he was in the tuxedo with Jackie Chan. He owned the tuxedo.
And J-Love.
So there you go. And J-Love,
I forgot about that. We also have
Jen Wu.
We have Jen Wu, or Hannah Quinlivan, as she's credited in the film. She was also in Skyscraper, which starred Dwayne Johnson and Neve Campbell. We have Sean Dow, is that how you say his name?
Sean Dow.
Sean Dow and Leslie Ma, who play like a couple in the film.
Yes, that's right. Which, yeah.
And then Wang Zukui, is that Wang Zukui.
Yes, he would have been the bigger name of
he was the most familiar one out of them all,
Yes.
apart from Jason Isaacs.
Yeah, of course. So you had your Hollywood name there, and then you have your Chinese name. So both of them would have been the headline names, I guess. Yeah. Everyone else.
What did you think? Everyone else. Amber Kiao, who played Jason Isaacs' wife.
Yes, that's right. She was quite surprising. But it was
she was a bit. I felt sorry for her a little bit. Okay, so
but it was a cast that I had seen faces here and there before.
Yeah.
But relatively new. It was a very young cast.
Yeah. Probably to draw,
of course,
more people from mainland China.
Yeah. I mean, as you were saying, it's their first big budget disaster movie. There is other Chinese disaster movies there.
Yeah, like Shockwave and
Aftershock.
Andy Lau.
Aftershock is the mainland Chinese one.
Oh, and
have you seen it?
No, but I've seen Shockwave is one with Andy Lau.
Yeah.
That's the one where they're in the tunnel.
Yes.
Okay, so I've seen that one.
But Aftershock is a fantastic, but it kind of isn't a disaster movie as such. It has an earthquake at the beginning, and then it's a tale of humanity. It's not really a full-on disaster movie. This is what we would expect as a Hollywood disaster movie. That's what Skyfire gives us.
Lots of effects, lots of tension, lots of running and
just excitement and adventure.
It is. So I really like the cast. The cast I enjoyed, especially the lead, Jen Wu or Hannah Quinlivan, whatever we want to as Meng.
She was good. She was very good.
Fantastic. Yeah. I really liked her. And whenever she came on screen, I don't know what it is about Chinese people, hopefully this doesn't sound racist, but just whenever they appear, I instantly like them.
Yeah. Well,
they could be the bitchiest characters, and I'm just like, I really like they do. They even look good when they cry.
I think I said that to Kenny when we were watching it. Why do Asian people always look amazing when they're doing something?
Yes!
They always do.
They look incredible, and even when they cry, they don't know how to ugly cry. I don't think anyone knows how to ugly cry in China.
Few Chow Sing-chi movies where they've got the right person who doesn't.
Okay, well, certainly in this movie they don't. I felt like we had
it was a very pretty cast though.
Oh, it was. I mean, they were all gorgeous. They were all gorgeous. Even Jason Isaacs looked good.
He did.
So the storyline is basically this investor, this young girl whose mother was a geologist, works on this island. This doesn't give anything away really, because it says it on the case of the Blu-ray. And she's a seismologist
and the volcano pops its cork,
blows. Father has to come get them because they're in a different part of the island. He's racing to get to his daughter and to his wife, but his wife unfortunately dies and his daughter then goes away. Meng Li then decides to continue her mother's work as a seismologist or whatever, and creates this new complex volcanic system that penetrates into the ground and can tell them
high tech. In comparison.
So really, really good. And then, of course, this investor has bought the island, wants to turn it into a theme park where people can go and experience a live volcano. Worst idea in history. I think that's even worse than opening a park with dinosaurs. At least they were in fucking cages.
I think this is where people are knocking the movie, because it is such a ridiculous idea.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
I would do it.
Jurassic Park is even more ridiculous.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, this is doable.
You wouldn't.
You wouldn't, but it's doable.
Especially if it's
But I think because it is so ridiculous, that's why it's getting knocked.
Yeah.
It's not being seen as entertainment.
Are people knocking it?
Really
I'm not really seeing a lot of negative reviews.
No, but it's very middle of the road.
Yes, so right slice down the
centre.
centre.
So I mean, I don't think people are taking it for what it is, which is just a fun adventure.
It's a popcorn film.
Totally.
It's a popcorn film. But
sorry, cool.
So where was I? Yeah, so he invests in it, creates this theme park, and then the volcano. He's warned that it's imminently going to explode. He needs to vacate the island.
And as any rich investor who does put their money into something like that will totally ignore the warning signs.
Yeah, we'll ignore all of the experts.
Yeah, look at Brexit, you know.
True that, actually. And obviously, inevitably, the volcano erupts.
Of course.
And then we get
Hell.
literally an hour of solid non-stop
It really is,
action.
actually. And it's, oh my god, it's so much fun. I mean, I would love to have went and visited this place. It looked gorgeous.
Yes, it looked absolutely beautiful. And also the end credits, you sat through the end credits to watch how they shot it. I just would have wanted to be on the set. I actually am coming to the realization that I may just be a pyromaniac.
I've said that for ages. But
because
yes.
there's a lot of shit blowing up in this film, and I was like, and I think that's why I was so excited by the whole thing. I was like, but one of my favourite scenes, so in terms of production values, what did you think? Because China's not particularly known for doing really good effects,
no,
but I
they're
was
really
impressed.
not, and they get knocked quite a bit. And it's something that lets me down when a major release comes out. I know with the upcoming Vanguard release, which we're going to review, that I just know, and that's a Stanley Tong thing. Stanley seems to just be okay with mediocre CGI.
Yeah.
This, on the other hand, much like Wandering Earth, blew me
another
away.
fantastic film, yeah.
I mean, the visuals on Wandering Earth were second to none.
Yeah.
This here as well. So, I mean, this is the latest Blu-ray I've bought, and by far, in terms of the quality of what I'm watching, is probably the greatest thing I've seen on my 4K TV.
Oh, really?
With just how beautiful, how sharp every effect is. There's nothing that looked out of place. There's nothing that kind of...
No, it didn't. I mean, there seems to be a lot of green screen.
There was a lot of... when you watch the end credits and you see that, there's a lot of green screen. I would not have known. But they do it so well.
Yeah.
Like, nothing is kind of just left, we'll get away with it.
Yeah.
They've really put a lot of work
and
into
some really, really cool stunt work in there too.
Yeah.
And everybody gets an opportunity to do some kind of stunt, be it riding on a motorcycle, hanging on a van trying to kick your gas canister off before your whole car, the car that you're trying to get away in blows up.
And the reverse of the Jeep.
The reverse of the Jeep, yeah. I mean,
some of it was quite incredible.
Some of it was amazing.
Definitely. No, I was highly impressed with the production value of it. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Everything is... I couldn't complain, really.
No,
definitely not. It is...
One of my favourite sequences from the film was the underwater escape.
Yeah, okay,
when
that
Sean
was
and Leslie's character. Really, I loved it.
Well,
I was holding my breath. I was literally...
And so were they for an extra long amount of time.
I mean, I ran out of breath, but you could see at the end, it wasn't like one of those Hollywood films where they can't come out the other side and they're like, she was like, she's struggling.
Yeah. No, it was, I think...
And it probably looked longer because of the editing.
Yes, and that's my only niggle. That was a very Chinese cinema moment for me there. It was almost just kind of typical of that romantic moment, and then when it all goes wrong,
gorgeously.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It is visually, it's a stunning movie.
Like when they go into that water, and I was like mesmerized.
Beautiful, yeah.
It was
really
it was like a piece of art.
Yeah.
You know, that was just moving round.
No, I don't dislike it. I just was... Yes, had the editing been a bit snappier, it might have just been a wee bit more realistic to that.
Had they done that as one scene where they go through
and let our attention build as much. Yeah.
I thought they were goners, to be honest. At that moment, I was like,
definitely her. Yeah.
Oh my god, they're gonna die! I was.
But
really...
it was that wee moment where you just thought, why are they doing this?
Why?
Yeah. Everything
else
else is building up and building up and building up.
Yeah.
And then they cut to this wee romantic moment.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but...
I suppose they have to have some kind of character development in there.
Yeah.
But it's too displaced for me.
It is slightly... Yes, it's slightly set out of...
Yeah.
If it should have came before, I think. A wee bit before.
Or just not
just before it all started going.
Yeah, because I think it's such a short film. It's only 90 minutes. Which, for a disaster film, is really, really...
But it gets right in there.
It does, but this is why I'm saying it could have probably done without that subplot, you know, because for me the film is very much about Meng Li and her dad, that broken relationship, his desperation to get her off that island, her dedication to make her mother proud.
The whole story does go full circle.
It does.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's just those little offshots that I wasn't completely sold on, like the romance, which was fine. They were cute actors.
Yeah.
And they played it very well, and there was that whole thing with her grandfather on the island. The only other thing that kind of bothered me was the village on the island.
Yeah, that was a bit.
They were like, it was all,
odd.
we need to get these people, we need to divert the lava, we need to get these people evacuated. And then it was like, okay, where are they?
Yeah, and the village kind of was never mentioned at the beginning.
No.
It just kind of appeared.
Yeah.
And we thought, watching it, the park, the hotel and all that was the only thing on the island.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
And then suddenly there's
a village of people.
everywhere. Yeah. That was, yes, I suppose that was another little
Now, I suppose they may have fleed down to the boats, but I didn't see any villagers on the boats.
No, definitely. They could have went the other way. And it looked like the village was nowhere near it.
Yeah.
So maybe
but it just kind of skipped over that plot point that became very immediate.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
it may have been
the lava was diverted.
They could have opened with that at the beginning when we had that flashback.
Yeah.
And then moved it forward.
Yeah, the whole village be obliterated by, lava.
Well, yeah, because it actually opens with a disaster.
Yeah.
And then it takes a rest for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then
introduces
we
us
go
to
again,
Old Man, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, look, it's not, for what it is, which it is a popcorn disaster movie.
Yeah.
I don't have any major complaints about it. It was highly enjoyable.
Yeah.
Really enjoyable. Again, the visuals were just stunning.
Yeah.
You knew where it was going with that monorail. When you knew when they got to the top.
It's like the ski lift.
Yes, but it was a brilliant scene. I mean, seeing the making of it at the end and the credits.
Oh yeah.
How they were getting flung around.
Oh yes. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
In the cars.
Yes. The cable cars.
The cable cars, but yes. So, but they're like a monorail carriage.
Only upside down.
On a cable.
Yeah.
But fantastic.
That scene alone, where they're like jumping.
Yeah, to miss the post.
Like 4 seconds. I'm sorry. Yeah. I wouldn't have made it. But it made for incredibly tense viewing. They, as you say, there were parts of it that you were like, whoa, that person's gone now and didn't see that coming, or
or not an asteroid, sorry, a big lump of lava would land on them.
Yeah.
Which was hilarious at some points.
Well, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah. That one scene, I was like, I knew and I knew what was going to happen. I was like,
because but there's other people running in the background and suddenly they just get wiped.
Yeah.
Or people you just don't expect.
Or they're running around on fire and
But that's the thing, there was some shocking moments. Surprisingly so.
Yeah.
It's rated 12, so you didn't expect to see some of those violent takedowns as we kind of expected. But no, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to watch it again.
Yes, well I did watch it again.
Oh, you did?
I did, for a second time. And fell even more in love with Hannah.
Yeah.
Because I just think she's so...
She's
great. She had so much emotion. She had a lot of conviction. She was quite badass. She didn't get an awful lot of stunts to do, but her character was written in a way, she was quite fearless, and she was just like, we got to get this done.
But in a natural sense.
Very much
so. I've trained.
Hollywood production.
Yeah. She wasn't a secret cop, or she wasn't a kung fu mistress.
She was just a seismologist out to make a difference. And
what do you
think
to make her of the Jeep stunts then we talked about earlier? There was a lot of vehicle work as well.
There was a lot of vehicle work, a lot of stuff on the motorcycle.
The reversing.
That reverse.
They had a good stunt with that.
Yeah, there was some really good stunts. There was one scene that reminded me very much of the Tower Inferno. In the Tower Inferno where they go down the glass elevator and then it kind of blows and falls off. The bit with the Jeep, when the Jeep falls down the side of the...
and they're hanging.
Yeah. And I'm like, who's going to get up and who's not? And I genuinely thought that Jason Isaac's wife, when that Lost World moment where the back door drops up, I was like, oh, she's gone.
There was wee nods to certain things I hadn't seen before, but it was great. It was a fantastic
but some amazing stunt work. I'm watching the behind the scenes. They don't have a behind the scenes featurette, unfortunately, on the Blu-ray. It's a very vanilla
Blu-ray. Literally says play feature.
And audio options and...
Oh, did you find those? I didn't even find those.
It said play play feature scene selection? Did it not?
No,
And
literally just
play feature. Oh, it would have been lovely to see it actually as a special edition with some really cool features on it, because the small snippets of behind the scenes footage that we've seen and how much of the stunt work they did, like legit.
Oh, I would imagine if
like,
there's a Chinese release of it, there would probably be more on the DVD or the Blu-ray. And you really need to see this on Blu-ray. I've always said anything
the
made
color is like
for me anyway, from 2010 onwards should be on Blu-ray because it's made for that quality.
Yeah.
But yeah, the color was
incredible.
So
and
amazing. Yeah.
I mean, that backward jump
on the Jeep.
Yeah, on the Jeep where they. I mean, realistically, could it be done? It's like the bus jump in Speed. No.
Yeah, but they done it. When you watch the making of, you see them attempt
freaking jump that. And the same with Wang Zikui at the end. The dad. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
When he's on the motorcycle.
Yes.
And the meteors are bombing, and then you watch the behind the scenes. Those fucking explosions are going off next to the stunt person. It obviously wasn't him on it.
But if he doesn't take the right turn,
if that stunt person just didn't take the right turn, he'd have been blown off that bike.
Yeah, it was.
And it's so good to see behind the scenes footage, because you go and see a lot of American films on the big screen, you get the whole film and then you get the credits, and you don't know anything until like a Blu-ray release comes out or whatever. That was released in theaters with the behind the scenes pinned onto the end, you know, so you were getting that insight. That would have been
amazing,
sensational on the big screen. I thought that actually. Now I do have a large television, but it's not not a movie screen, you know, and it would have been fantastic. Would you, based on what you've seen in this, would you want to see two more?
Two more Skyfires?
Yeah. Because that was the plan.
Oh, really?
They planned a trilogy. So it's supposed to be the first in the trilogy.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if it doesn't get silly, obviously material runs kind of thin usually by the third one.
Yeah.
And it's not,
unless you're Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's not full of so much that you think it could expand. So I'd be interested to see where they would go with it.
Yeah.
But with the production value and the visuals behind it, definitely I'd like to see more.
Yes, if they kept up that level of quality, it would be interesting to see, because it kind of, as you say, it came full circle. It closed off Meg's story quite well.
Yeah.
It would be nice to see her come back and, you know, as a expert in something, and then she's like, I've been here before and whatever. But maybe it's kind of like, where would they go with it? Could they be doing like the Shockwave 2 thing?
Or will they go down the Jurassic Park route? And will it just go back to the same place and, you know, take it from there? Yeah.
Or could it be viaducts under the sea, push the lava to actual China? To Hong Kong? They did it with Volcano in Los Angeles.
Exactly.
So why not?
This was the other thing we talked about. I mean, the lava in this rolls extremely fast.
Really fast.
And that's another
thing. This is not slow.
Look, guys, if you're watching this, you can't take it seriously. It's entertainment.
No, it is.
You know, my husband was like, "Oh, it's far too fast. That lava's far too fast. It's the fastest lava I've ever seen." Blah 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 blah. That's probably why.
When lava's rolling down a hill, I doubt that it's going to take time. Yeah,
but
coming out at that, blowing out at that speed, it's not going to take its time.
That's the excitement of it. You know,
fastest lava I've ever seen.
It's running from something so quick like that. Whereas lava, normally, when you watch Dante's Peak or you watch Volcano, it is quite slow moving. People are just walking around it.
Quite literally walking around it.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
Well, Dante's Peak, they are kind of running away.
Yeah, well, it's coming.
They're going down the mountain, and then they've got to go on the boat, and then they've got to zoom through the city of the China Dante's Peak.
Yeah.
Whereas with Volcano, it's a lot of pyro work. Yeah. Like this had a lot of pyro work in it, but it was a lot of pyro work. But everyone was kind of standing about,
or hanging off lampposts or something.
Well, hanging off the pretty much hanging off the fire truck thing.
This was ruthless. This was a new type of volcano.
Yes, we're just comparing it to other
volcano.
We're just comparing it to other similar films.
Look, whether it went slow or fast, I didn't care.
No.
It was exciting. It does a job.
Yeah.
That's what movies are all about, entertaining, and this is what that does.
Mm-hmm.
Well done.
As much as I love a big epic movie that runs for 3 hours and people are in peril and it's all very exciting.
To be honest, we've had for the last 10 or 15 years so many fucking epic movies that this was refreshing almost.
The Towering Inferno was no slouch. I mean, it's 2.5 hours.
No, yeah.
You know, beside it. So this was kind of like
nice. We've been bombarded from all corners of the globe with epic movies. It seems to be what everyone wants to do or give, whereas this was just...
It was epic.
It was, and it's like refreshing because it was just switch your brain off and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So what would you rate it?
Do you know, I would honestly give it a 3.5 out of 5. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
There was just parts of it that I was kind of like, that could have been expanded on, or we didn't need that, or whatever. So that's why it loses marks for me. Slightly.
Well, I'd be the same. I mean, 3.5 is what I was going to give it.
Wow.
And
we agree.
Again. But it's like, yeah, there is flaws there.
We actually...
Obviously.
You know, it's so weird. We disagree on so many films. And all the reviews we've done so far, which has only been 3 so far. So we have agreed on all 3.
I know.
So that's pretty weird. But there we go.
Right. But it is, I mean, it is flawed. To a minor degree. It's just an entertaining movie, and that's all that is.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to step away from the hardcore Netflix dramas and just turn your brain off. I found that myself recently, where we were getting bombarded. It's award season coming up, so you're getting bombarded with a lot of the heavy stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, my brain can't take this, especially in the current climate that we're living in. I feel like what I need right now is just to be entertained, which you'll see in my nice package, because I'm like, which you'll see in our nice package video, which is actually an unboxing video, not an exposure video. Where I needed just movies and TV shows I can just go, no, I just don't want to deal with reality right now. I want to have fun.
Exactly.
And Skyfire was one of those blind buys, hadn't even heard about it, nothing, and the cover looks cool. We've got the cover in front of us here.
Amazing.
The cover looks cool. I was like, fuck it, I'll buy it, Survivor, let's take it. Watched it, was like, oh my god. Then read up about it again, I did, and then watched it again. And then read up about it. And then that's when I found out there was supposed to be a trilogy and all this here, but it underperformed, and obviously because of COVID and whatever, but it wasn't delayed, it just happened to come out at a really bad time in China. But hopefully in the UK market, Blu-ray market, I hope it finds a home and it builds back up its budget again, and they fly in. Yeah.
I hope it erupts.
That's actually a really good way to end this review.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, that's how we're ending it then?
What you just said. Anyway, yes, thanks very much for watching.
Thank you.
Go and buy yourself a copy of Skyfire. It is worth it.
If you live in the UK, Tesco's, £5. If you don't live in the UK, Amazon, $5.99. So
it's not...
For an extra £1.
Yeah, it's not
for an extra
expensive.
99p.
It's actually a reasonably priced movie for
what it is.
Very, very good piece of entertainment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
until next time.
Until next time.
Cherry pie.
Cherry pie. Do I look fat?
Do I?
No. Never do.